Whether you're a guy in a cape,
Roku Sneaky,
join Chris and Rodger and Jason.
Hey.
Hi.
As we Entertain the Geeky.
Entertain the Geeky.
Yeah, that's what we're doing here.
Say those fucking words.
Those fucking words.
So Rodger starts this one off, middle finger blazing in my face, like that's gonna throw me off my game.
It almost did.
No,
I saw the look in your eye. You were like, "Oh, there it is."
No, I was like, what should I do? What should I do?
Lick it.
There's a knife in my pocket.
Wow. Hi. Hi,
Hello.
Jason.
How's it going?
I can't complain, unlike other people I know. How are you?
Are you talking about me?
No, I'm talking about Game of Thrones fans.
Oh
yeah. You see how I threw that down? Just peppered it right in there.
That was nice. That was good transition right there.
You kind of opened the door wide open.
Right open for us to walk through.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the finale happened.
Yeah, it's over now.
It's over, and everyone is pissed.
Butthurt.
I don't know why.
Yeah.
It was a fine ending.
I mean, it wasn't the ending I was expecting, but
it was the ending you deserved.
It was not a bad ending.
It was the Starks won. Starks won. That's all that needed to happen.
The thing that kept bothering me the whole time I was watching the ending of that final episode was they kept calling him Bran the Broken, and I feel like that's insulting, right? I feel like if I was Bran, I'd be like, okay, can you guys drop the Broken? I know I'm in a wheelchair. You don't have to keep calling attention to it.
Well, did you see the meme floating around on the internet? Absolutely no one. And then Sansa, but his dick don't work.
Yeah.
And he's like, thanks, bitch.
Yeah.
like
it was, it was a weird kind of ending, but I think it's because for 6 seasons of the show, I mean, with season 7 and 8, I kind of lump in together as one whole season.
Yeah.
But for 6 seasons of the show, we had very tight writing to draw from for inspiration and for development, for the characters and that kind of thing. And then we got to season 7 and 8, and the writers who have never had to write this story really, you know what I mean, other than their own dialogue, they know what the story is. They had a very tight, well-crafted book that they used as reference.
You throw that word around a little too much. Well crafted.
I liked Song of Ice and Fire, the 5 books that we've got. I don't know if I like the whole series because I still have not finished reading.
No, you've gotten the whole series.
I mean, I agree.
You're done.
I don't think Martin's planning on finishing it ever. But the point is, the writers for season 7 and 8 had to do something that they had never done before. They had to write the show themselves.
I think
they had to piss everyone off.
My biggest complaint is now I'm just going to bitch about people bitching. My biggest complaint is everyone talking about, well, this didn't matter, or this didn't matter, or this didn't. Why do they even have this? Sometimes in life, things happen to you, like you learn a skill, like how to become a many-faced person, that has no impact on the greater story going on. It's just part of you now.
Yeah.
Like, that's life.
Yeah.
And not everything needs to be part of the end revelation or blah, blah, blah. It's just, that was part of her journey.
Well, I think the reason people felt that way is because when you look at it from the book perspective, these things were important to the plot. These things were foreshadowed very heavily that they were going to be important to this story's plot. And I think not having them pay off in any way at all seems like, well, what was the foreshadowing?
Because it did pay off. We'll use this one specifically. Because Arya did the training that she did. Because she went on that path. She was, 1, able to kill the Night King.
Well, sure.
And 2, able to actually just fucking survive.
I don't think Arya's story didn't pay off in a satisfying way. I think her story very much paid off in a satisfying way.
No, that's one of the biggest complaints I've heard was...
The story that doesn't pay off in a satisfying way is the fact that Jon Snow is actually Aegon VI, first of his name.
Right. It paid off fine.
It didn't, though.
It did.
That's what people are complaining about.
He killed Crazy Lady. He killed Crazy Lady and then said, you know what? I never wanted to be the king to begin with. I don't want this. I'm walking away.
I understand that, but one of the things that everybody thought about Varys was that before he got burnt to death, he told the world that Jon Snow is actually Aegon Targaryen, 6th of his name. And that is something that Varys would do. Varys, if he knows that the potential of what he's saying could get him killed, well, the only recourse for him is to make sure as many people know about the truth as he can get.
Well, it doesn't matter anymore.
Well, no,
because
it doesn't matter
he killed
anymore.
Jon killed Daenerys. Stabby, 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 stabby. Stabby.
Yeah.
And then one more stabby. And then the dragon showed up.
I love you, die.
Yeah, no, that's kind of how it was. But it really was.
Yeah, that's what it was.
It was Tyrion that put the entire thing in perspective, and I think that is the most overlooked thing, which is the past 8 years of Showtime and us watching is all because
HBO.
of No. All because of kings and leaders being bloodline. That was the entire fucked up is that. So break that cycle. Break that and get away from that. Have this guy that can't father any children be the king, and we'll figure it out from there.
Sure. And
his story, his arc was almost as complete as Jaime Lannister's arc.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not pissed by this. I actually think everybody's story worked out the way it should, right? And the fact that we're going with democracy instead of...
Well, it's not really democracy.
It's kind of democracy.
It's a little.
I mean, let's think of the nobles who represent their people as congressmen. Right,
but
voting,
but no one elects. But that would be like saying Congress votes for president.
I get it.
That's not how it works.
But we're on the cusp. Democracy is next, right?
I mean, that's not how it works. I mean, there's not a lot of population left in King's Landing, though. I mean,
it did get roasted.
She killed a lot of them.
She's kind of a bitch.
She killed a lot of them.
But no, I think it was satisfying. I mean, was it exactly what I expected it to be because I'm a book reader? No. But I think that's the point, right? Take yourself out of that mindset. We can look at many things that were directly in those first 5-6 seasons that come from the book that are tweaked a little bit because it's a television show and you have to change how the plot works a little bit.
There's no Lady Stoneheart.
Well, right. There's so many things that have been left out. So I think anybody that feels less than satisfied about how this has ended is just ignoring the fact that this is kind of how the show has been. Yeah. It's not going to be what you expect from a book perspective.
And here's the thing. Game of Thrones, the book, is all about making you fuck with your expectations.
Jon Snow should have got fried.
No.
Yeah, I really thought Drogon was going to kill him right there.
No, Drogon was like, I got you, brother. We're gonna take her. We're gonna hide away. You just keep it quiet.
Yeah, the dragon was the precursor to the nobles voting for a leader. Was first we gotta blow up this fucking chair.
This chair's got
fuck this chair.
Did you see that cartoon, that little comic strip floating around of how Drogon thinks Dany died?
Yes,
because of the chair.
The Iron Throne stabbed her when she tried to sit on it.
But I mean, if you look at that, it's like a little political cartoon because ultimately the Iron Throne is what drove her mad.
It's true.
So the Iron Throne did kill her.
Yeah,
man.
And then Jon Snow just poked her a little.
Just pokey. And in more ways than one.
Did anybody else think this? Right, because when Jon goes back to Castle Black at the end there. Where are the Rangers?
Why the fuck did
they're all
back
dead?
Exactly. So here's my thought, right? Those two Rangers that came to pick him up from King's Landing were just wildling Northmen in disguise.
Definitely were.
So they could get him away and they could all go north. Because who the hell's left to defend Castle Black? Does the first guy who gets there now just become the new commander?
What's there to defend Castle?
I claim this castle and the Rangers.
Look, you brought up an interesting point, though, because Jon Snow, the I am bound by morals, I am bound by my code of honor, him actually going into the north, leaving the watch behind, he's actually grown past that. Now he's actually worried just about making himself happy.
Well, right.
He's
going to go north with his only best friend throughout all of this besides Sam has been who?
Wolf. Ghost, whatever.
What?
No.
I'm thinking the puppy
dog.
dog.
Redbeard guy.
That guy.
Giantsbane. How do you not remember Giantsbane? Look, like, even if you forget Tormund.
He's there. I just want to think the puppy's his best friend.
I'm just saying, outside of Sam and those other Night's Watch guys that are all dead now, by the way.
All dead.
Yeah.
The only consistent best bud of Jon Snow has been Tormund Giantsbane.
Yep.
And he offered, when Jon spent time undercover with the wildlings, right? Like, he appreciated what they were more than he even thought he would. So much so that he fell in love with one of them, right? And thought, this could be my life now.
And it is.
He gets to have that life. He gets to go north of the wall and be a Northman.
Be happy.
A Northman. You're a Northie.
You're a Northie.
I love when they call, the people at Winterfell Southerners. And he's like, we're not Southerners. We are Northerners. He goes, you live south of the wall. You're Southerners.
Yeah, that's a true thing.
Yeah.
Look, all in all, looking back at the show, it's a good show. And it deserves.
We need to sit down and do a review where we talk about the whole show, where we talk about the implications that we saw at the beginning that kind of played out in different ways.
We will. You and I have talked about this.
Yeah, we need to review the show as a whole.
But overall, it definitely deserves its place on the shelf of greatest TV shows of all time.
Well, it's actually funny. I own all the seasons of Game of Thrones except 7. And it wasn't intentional, right? But I was the kind of guy that, man, I was pre-ordering that shit on Amazon so that it would show up the day it came out at my door. And I just never, 7 was not on my radar when it came out. And I realized maybe it was because it was less than what I thought it was. But then looking at 8, like I said, it kind of feels like 7 and 8 are just one big season.
I can see that. I obviously think that the biggest problem we ran into was just not a lot of time. Now, we can discuss why that was and all that. It doesn't matter. At the end of the day, I didn't feel like there was enough time in this season to wrap everything up. And a lot like when I watched the X-Files revival series,
Sure.
It seems like it's just fast.
It's
fast. Right.
Yeah.
Not a lot of time left.
I think, though, looking back, if you sit and watch 7 and 8 as one whole season, it might actually play better.
It might be satisfying.
Well, there was
Might be a little more satisfying.
A 2-year wait?
Yeah. Like if you sit and you watch, because I'm thinking back on the episodes of 7, I was actually looking at the list on the HBO, Now app the other day. I think if you watch them all as one, it will feel like a complete season and a complete finale to the show. Because the buildup of 7 pays off in the long night.
It
right?
does.
Right?
Yeah.
But so you had a 2-year wait for that. And any single episode that wrapped that story up was going to feel less than complete. But if you watch it as part of the whole, where you're watching season 7 as it builds to it, it might feel like a more satisfying conclusion.
Just binge that shit.
Right.
Well, yeah. I mean, you're not wrong.
Exactly. So I don't know, man. I think upon return viewing, it might play better.
Well, I think you're right. I think the 2-year break is ultimately what kind of killed
Yeah,
it.
it
Because
kinda kills the
everybody
momentum.
was bitching.
Yeah.
As soon as the first episode premiered, they're like, what the fuck? And it's like, did you watch the
Right.
other stuff?
Yeah.
Like, it's been a long wait.
I mean, we're stupid people. We forget.
Well, and we were also at that point in Game of Thrones where you're at any epic role-playing game, wherever, where it's just, okay, we have to fight the final boss now.
Right.
And that never holds water. Like, it can be a tough boss fight, but when it's over, you're like, okay.
Right, but if you're watching, imagine where we left the last episode of season 7, where it is agreed that Cersei is going to fight for the North, and then we realize, no, she's actually not, but Jaime's like, okay, well, fuck you then, because I vowed to fight for the living, and I'm going to go do that, right?
Yep.
Imagine where you left that, and then immediately starting that next episode.
Yeah.
Okay, well, now it feels like a smoother transition, right? But instead, you had to wait 2 years in between that, which killed any momentum that season had building to its conclusion. Sure. Which is not really its conclusion. It's just the precursor to the actual conclusion.
Okay, so let's just watch them all together.
I think we're going to watch them
all together. We're going to watch them all together. You and I, we're just going to start at episode 1 and go all the way through.
We're going to spend 3 days straight.
We'll hold each other when Ned dies.
Dude,
we'll cheer when Joffrey dies.
Fucking Ned dying was like the most heart-wrenching moment for me in that series. I was like, this is fucked. I was pissed. That
the
was
most heart-wrenching moment for me, even though I knew it was coming, was watching Rob die.
See,
yeah,
that was the most heart-wrenching moment for me because I was just like, God damn, I know it's coming. The music's playing.
They're gonna stab the baby.
He's got his armor on. Oh no! Here we go.
I was bummed about it, but Ned Stark was all that was good as far as I was concerned.
But he wasn't.
Rob Stark is good.
Rob Stark is very good.
Jon Snow is good.
Jon Snow is very good.
Bran Stark is good.
Look, they made me fall in love with Ned first.
Why?
All the Starks are good.
Oh no, Ned.
Sansa's a bitch.
Here's the thing. Much like Jon, Ned betrayed his honor to save his life. Jon did not.
Fair enough.
Rob did not. Ned is not this upstanding, honorable man.
Right. I mean, Jon went to the grave with his honor intact.
Right. Ned was like, I lied. Forgive me, my king. Oh, my head's still chopped off.
Right.
He, at the moment where his honor was truly to be tested, he caved like a bitch.
It wasn't about caving like a bitch at that point. It was about, okay, how can I make a difference?
He caved like a bitch.
No, shut up.
In all reality, it didn't matter, right? They were going to chop his head.
It didn't matter
anyway.
regardless.
Right.
So
but
the
here's
reality
Jon
is,
Snow.
wouldn't you have rather seen Ned say, "I will not bow to a king who does not belong on the throne"?
Of course.
Which means not a bitch move. Like Jon
and letting
Snow,
the whole crowd know that kid shouldn't be on the throne.
Jon Snow watched his queen annihilate an entire city of women, children, innocents, and still was like, man, she's our queen.
Yeah, and then he killed her.
Only after talking to Tyrion. Tyrion convinced him.
Yeah,
the
Tyrion
fact of the matter
him.
is, he fucking killed her.
But still, at that moment,
honor intact. That's my queen. I'm gonna stab her.
He still was like this.
You're talking out of both sides of your mouth, bro.
Yeah, no.
It's unbecoming.
I think Jon Snow loses his honor in that final moment.
When he stabbed her and then goes north.
So then fine. Rob
So the only one who kept his honor
is
was Rob.
It can be Rob,
Or
whatever.
Bran the Broken. I mean...
Bran the Broken's
but Bran's
a dirty
not a Stark
boy.
anymore, right?
That's
He
true.
has distanced himself from that. Like, no, we're not really family anymore. We'll always kind of be, but no, I'm like the three-eyed raven now. I got no time for you people.
Look, Hodor's dead. I'm out. That's exactly how
Hodor's
Hodor's
the only
dead.
thing
Who's going to hold the door?
Apparently Podrick now. Was I missing it, or is Podrick just now like the king's personal wheelchair pusher?
Yeah, that's what he is.
Personal wheelchair pusher.
Right.
He's
That's
Jimmy.
Podrick's job now.
Yeah.
I wish the Hound would have been the wheelchair pusher.
Oh, that was so good.
The
man.
Hound's death was
That was sad.
of this season.
I love him so
Yeah.
much.
The Hound's death was the...
He's a terrible person. We shouldn't love him.
But
he's one of the most evil fuckers in the whole
He's
world.
fucking relatable.
No, he's not. He gets redeemed, I think.
Every person here is absolutely deplorable.
I don't think he gets redeemed. I think
That's why he's relatable.
It's just him being him. And then right before he dies, when he looked at Ari and said, "Look, I gotta go do this.
I'm probably gonna die.
I'm gonna I'm gonna die.
Right.
You don't want to follow me.
Right.
Like that's just how he's always been.
Well, I understand that, but I think
That was his baby.
I think he gets a little bit of redemption because he's one of the ones within the soldiers of the Lannisters and the Baratheons that sees the corruption that's happening and decides, fuck it, I'm out.
Fuck the king was exactly what
Right.
he said at the battle.
So he did terrible things,
Yes.
right, in the pursuit of their power. But eventually he recognized that it was wrong and he gets redeemed because of Arya. Right? That redemption arc for him starts when he's hanging out with Arya.
Yeah.
And ends when he kills his brother and destroys the decimated, zombified corpse that his brother's become.
Won't you just fucking die?
Yeah.
Like, God, that was a good
He's a
fight.
badass, dude.
It was a good fight.
It was.
And then Cersei just kind of stepping aside, like, I don't really know what to do.
Right. As soon as the mountain stopped listening to her, I was like, you better
it's
run,
on.
bitch.
It's
I was
on.
like, you better run, because he ain't gonna listen to you no more.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go. This is between you guys, right? See you later.
We're gonna, hi, Jamie.
Hash that out.
Right.
Hi, Jamie. I don't want to die this way. We didn't want you to die that way either, Cersei. We wanted a really cool death for you. Like, let's be honest.
But so yeah, Game of Thrones is over, but that's not all that's going on.
No.
What else
we got?
Rob Pattinson.
Well, I was gonna say Sparkly Batman.
Call it Spark. Go ahead.
Sparkly Batman.
I think this is a problem I have, right?
Okay. Hold on. Before you go on this timer, I gotta say this though.
Oh no, it's not a tirade.
Even
it's
if
just one
we
point.
get Sparkly Batman, like a sparkly Batman suit, it is not the worst thing that's happened to the bat suit in the movies.
Bat nipples.
Bat nipples!
I mean, that's true.
Okay, the fact of the matter is, every single one of you that's bitching about this dude was bitching about Affleck. Affleck was the best Batman ever.
Bitching about Nolan, bitching about Clooney.
Every casting call rubs some people the wrong way. The reality is, though, everybody hears Robert Pattinson, and what do they immediately think of?
The movie that made him famous.
Twilight.
Which was
now,
bad.
in all reality, he was in Harry Potter long before he was in Twilight.
Yeah.
But his character got introduced and killed off in the same
In
movie.
like 5 minutes.
Yeah, I mean, got introduced and killed off in the same movie. At least in the books, we knew who Cedric Diggory was.
Dude was in a
leading up
movie
to
called Remember Me.
his
He's
death.
been in a bunch of legit
Right.
movies.
The
He's a good
reality is,
actor.
stop thinking about him as that Twilight guy and look at some of the other things he's done. The man actually is a decent actor.
Do you remember what was said when Michael Keaton was cast as Batman?
Of course.
You're
Mr.
casting
Mom
Mr. Mom.
cannot play Batman.
And he did a fine job.
No, he didn't.
He did a fine job.
He's first of all, he did okay.
Oh my God, I forgot.
He did okay as Batman. I will give you that, but he is not Bruce Wayne.
There's only been one good Bruce Wayne.
Who's that?
Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer was a good Bruce
Val
Wayne.
Kilmer was a good Bruce Wayne.
He was.
No.
His
Yeah.
Batman was weak.
His Batman was not on point, but his Bruce Wayne
His
was
Bruce Wayne
amazing.
was.
His Bruce Wayne was
First
I
of all,
agree.
his Bruce Wayne was Batman. That was the problem for me. In that movie, and I don't know, maybe I'm the only one who noticed this, right? But I don't think I'm alone. In that movie, they decided to switch who Batman and Bruce Wayne are.
No.
Bruce started acting more like a brooding Batman, and Batman started acting more like a smart-ass Bruce.
No. It was. You're thinking Batman and Robin with George
No.
Clooney. That's...
In the Val Kilmer movie, he says, it's the car, right? Chicks dig the car.
I mean, they do.
That's not how Batman talks. That's
Yeah.
how Bruce talks.
But he's not...
Bruce is the flirty asshole playboy. Batman is the brooding, oh, my parents are dead guy. And they switched those roles in Batman Forever. Batman was making jokes and Bruce Wayne was broody.
Look, Ben Affleck was the best one. That's all that matters.
Well, Ben Affleck, I will agree, was actually good at both. I think he was fine as Bruce and I think he was fine as Batman.
Yeah, best one.
The only problem I had is Batman doesn't kill people and
Apparently he fucking does.
I mean, he did.
The movies Batman have always kind of killed people.
Yeah,
I'm not going to deny that. But in the comics, that's not how Batman is.
It's like the college humor thing. No, he gets tuckered out and he takes a nap.
Right. No. Batfleck killed a lot of people.
Yeah, he killed a lot of people.
Batfleck killed a lot. Christian Bale didn't kill a lot of people.
No, they tried to keep that true to the idea that Batman doesn't kill people.
I hated Christian Bale.
But there are definitely some things that happen in those movies where you're like, that guy's dead.
That guy's so
dead right now. There's no way he survives that.
Well, and then there's Michael Keaton's Batman where he rolls up in the Batmobile and just drops grenades in the Axis chemical plant and keeps rolling. I was like, people are still in there.
And then in Batman Returns, when he literally just strapped a bomb to a dude's chest and pushed him in the sewer.
Right. He's like, here you go.
Standard.
Right. Dead.
So apparently Batman does kill. He's done it throughout his entire cinematic history.
He's done it in the comics. He's done it in the movies.
He's done it in the comics, but it's not been that way in the comics for a long time.
I mean, one of the earliest issues, he literally snaps a guy's neck with his foot.
Yeah, I mean, there's
Batman's a fucking killer.
In the original Detective Comics, he carried a gun. He was a detective in a costume.
You need to come to grips with this.
Yeah,
Batman's a serial killer,
but not anymore.
You don't stop being a serial killer. That's what Dexter taught us.
If you are a murderer, then you are a murderer. This is very simple.
We also can be, nerds and understand that comics retcon these ideas out of existence sometimes.
But movies don't.
You're right, movies don't.
Because Affleck was killing motherfuckers.
They just keep having Batman kill people.
He threw like
the first scene that you see Affleck's Batman, he's like, hey, watch this. Fucking batarangs everywhere in your chest, you're dead.
Yeah.
Well, except, okay, now, there is a difference, though. Batfleck is not the Batman that we have now. Like, this is a Batman in the future.
Right, Dark Knight Returns.
Yeah, I mean, Robin has just... Like, we don't know how long it's been since Robin's been killed.
Okay, so Dark Knight Returns, right? Robin's been killed, all of that, in a comic. And when Batman finally decided to let the quote-unquote sons of Batman help him out, the first thing he did, old, grizzled Batman, was snatched a shotgun away from one of them, broke it in half, and said, this is the weapon of the enemy. We do not need it, and we do not use it. We do not kill. So even grizzled...
Except that he kills people.
He doesn't kill Superman. Superman lives. The point wasn't to kill Superman. The point was to show he's just a man. That was the whole point of that story. And if you didn't get that, I'm sorry for you.
He killed him. He was going to kill him.
You're a man.
And then he was like, oh, heart attack.
If you can make God bleed, people will stop believing in him.
But they didn't.
Yes, they did. Did you not read Dark Knight Strikes Again?
No, because that one was shit.
Did you not read Dark Knight 3, The Master Race?
No, because that was shit too.
That was not shit. That was a fantastic fucking story.
Shit.
It was not. Anyway.
Shit.
It's all shit.
It's all shit.
Batman's a killer and this is shit.
Yeah, that's all that matters. Batman and Hannibal Lecter, same people.
Same.
Pattinson could be a decent Batman.
He could be a good Batman.
I'm cool about him being Batman.
It's just the movie's gonna suck.
The guy's got fucking shoes to fill right now, and that's I feel kind of bad for him.
What shoes does he have to feel?
Fucking Affleck's.
Fuck that. Look, we're walking into a movie with no expectations. We got a Batman nobody likes. We don't really know what's going on. Apparently, it's Catwoman and the Penguin.
Nobody likes any of the Batman that we have. Everybody bitches.
There's a Batman no one bitches about.
His name is Kevin Conroy.
No one bitches about that man.
Because he's great at both Bruce and Batman.
The only issue I
Adam
have with
West,
him...
Nobody will bitch about him. Except for Jason.
Yeah, Jason.
Except for Jason.
My only issue is, like, with the DC animated movies, why do they have different Batman voices? You have the perfect Batman voice. He ain't doing anything else.
In all reality, it's because what they've done with the DC movies recently is tried to keep them in a continuity arc, and thus keeping the same people doing the voices helps with the continuity.
Fuck that. Just get Kevin in there and
it's the same reason we've had Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, and Chris Hemsworth playing the same character for 10 years. Because continuity is important.
Well, hold on.
They're also good at it.
But Don Cheadle showed up in one of those movies and none of the other ones.
No, Don Cheadle was always War Machine. It's
Clarence Howard.
Clarence Howard.
Yeah.
Terrence Howard.
Terrence Howard. That played him in the first Iron Man movie.
Yeah. And we got over that real fast.
Well, he wanted more money. That was the whole problem with him.
Apparently it wasn't just more money. Like, he's recently opened up about it and just said it was really the contract that he thought meant he was going to play the character for the next 3 movies was actually not. It was in the contract that Disney at any time could change their mind and decide to recast someone.
Well, no
recast
shit.
the
Disney
part.
can do that.
Well, right,
with any contract.
But he didn't understand that the contract wasn't locking him in. It was, you're deciding you're going to play the character, and we still have the right to say no.
Right. And even if Disney does break a contract, they've got the money to pay for it.
Yep.
That's true. Yeah.
They can be like, yeah, we
you need a settlement? Here's
Here
some
you
money.
go.
Right, here's your money.
We're just going to give you that Hulu check. Here you go.
Right.
Give you that Hulu check.
So now Disney owns 2 streaming services, 5 networks, all the movie studios.
Fucked. Nobody bats an eye at that.
I bat an eye at that.
They're like, all right.
But I am excited about Disney Plus. Mostly because of The Mandalorian.
And DuckTales.
And I'm hoping DuckTales and
Ducks.
Darkwing Duck and Mighty Ducks.
And Mighty Ducks. A lot of ducks need to come on
All the
Disney's
ducks.
streaming service.
I need
about
all
ducks.
the ducks.
He's like, fuck the mice. Bring on the
I
ducks.
need the ducks, man.
I just want Tailspin. That's all I want.
Yep.
Here's the thing about Jason a lot of people might not know. He's like the biggest Disney animated fan of all time. And not the movies.
No,
no.
The
The movies are okay. It's the shows that he likes.
Disney used to make the greatest cartoons. Like, they really did. They were the best. Even Winnie the Pooh. Pooh Bear, I gotta be there.
I just kind of wish that was recorded on video because the look on your face was like, you have this look of just joy, sadness, happiness.
Pooh Bear!
Like, you're like,
The New Adventures of Winnie the Pooh was one of the greatest damn cartoons of my childhood.
Wow.
not like, I'm like, hey, it was Turtles. Or X-Men.
Turtles were great. X-Men were great. Spider-Man was great. I liked all of these shows.
Jason goes, fuck it.
Disney
Pooh Bear.
was doing
Man,
cartoons.
it's you, silly old Winnie the Pooh.
He knows the song too.
Of course I
see?
know the fucking
You
song.
got kids, man. You
I
need to
was
get
a
that
kid
shit.
once, Jason.
You're also younger than I am.
Oh, it doesn't matter.
So it affected you at a different time of your life than it affected me. Like, I was in my double digits when those shows were on, and I loved them.
I was 16 years
Yeah, I was
old.
about to say, I picture Jason getting his driver's
jerk
I was
it
like
off.
10. I was like 10, 11 when those
Yeah,
shows came
you're
out.
only like 4 or 5 years older than I am.
Yeah, I get it.
No, you're 29?
Mm-hmm.
I'm 6 years old.
Yeah.
35.
Oh, whatever. You're very old.
Yeah, we're old fucks over here.
I'm dying.
Not as fast as we are. That's what we're saying.
No, my wife and kids are like, what are we going to do for your 30th birthday party? I was like, you shut the fuck up. We're not.
2 strippers.
I'm like, we're not.
No,
It's not happening.
You don't need strippers.
We're not
I
having a
had
birthday
two,
party.
I had 2 strippers.
I'm not having a 30th birthday
Courtney
party.
tried to give
Fuck
me a
that.
midget stripper, and the stripper twisted her ankle on the way to my dirty 30, so they sent 2 bottom barrel strippers, and it was really 2.5 because one of them was pregnant.
That's okay. That's more information than I think I needed.
No,
That's
it
so
was
hot.
awesome.
Rodger's like, it was a free
I
shot.
don't think I
Ask
needed
John. John was
I don't
there.
think I needed that information.
John was there.
Yeah, I bet John was there.
Perks was there. Just ask him, be like, hey, just ask him about the blow up doll. See if he
I
remembers.
don't know. Yeah, okay. I'm gonna go see him later, actually. So yes, I will ask him. Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah?
No, oh yeah.
You guys fucking fencing?
No.
That's what it looked like.
That's fencing.
Yeah, I know.
This is sharing a moment.
Oh, I thought you were fencing.
No, it's auction prep.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, the auction.
Auction's next weekend.
Used gaming auction. It's that time of year, man. Fuck.
Yeah.
Actually,
Get some games for
there's
cheap.
really
It's always
nothing I
good.
want, though.
There hasn't been a lot of stuff recently that's been kind of blowing people away. There's
Like
I mean,
what?
well, no, I mean there hasn't.
He says
Oh.
there's not been.
I thought he said there's been. I'm like, yeah, like what? Just
There's,
lay it on me.
there's a few. There's every now and again, a game or a card game or whatever that comes along that everyone's like, oh my god. But usually that's just because it's new.
I'll do what I always do when it comes to a used gaming auction, which is look online, see if there's anything I want, and then just move on with my life.
Yeah, I mean, here, I need D&D books. If there's D&D books, I'll buy
There's
them.
always D&D books.
I know.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
I don't know how it's possible that there's always D&D books, but they're always there.
I do because
There's
people
too
get them
many.
and then they're like, I don't have enough time to play.
There's too many D&D books.
But there's not a lot of 5th edition books.
Well, I only want 5th edition books or Starfinder.
There's not a lot of Starfinder books. There's
No,
like
there's
4.
there's like 3. It's
Yeah.
not even 4. I think it's like 3.
Yeah.
No,
There's
I'm
a couple
I'm-
of paperback supplements.
Yeah, I'm
stuff.
talking about supplements and stuff. I want some
Yeah,
Starfinder
like the
stuff.
hardcover. As far as hardcovers, they only got like 3 of them.
Yeah.
No, I know. I have the core rulebook. I don't have the Alien Archive or anything
You don't
like
need
that.
it.
So if that
You
shows
don't
up.
need it.
Well, yeah, I mean, Pathfinder always stood by the idea that you could play the game with just the core rulebook.
That's how it should be.
Yeah, here's one book. You can play the game with this book.
There you go.
Yeah, I was
That's
going to say, you're sitting in front of the Pathfinder core rulebook. That's
I am.
awesome.
I am.
And then we got Deadlands over here on this side of the table.
Yeah, which had a lot of shit. Because there's like 3 games.
Yeah.
4. It'll be 5 games when it's over.
Yeah.
We need to play Savage Worlds Ninja Turtles.
What? No, we'll just play the Palladium Ninja Turtles and really hate our lives.
I don't think I'd want to play that game again.
Oh, yeah, you do.
No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
No, I really don't.
Because I don't understand how that system works. Do you know how I can tell you Palladium puts out really bad products? Here we go. Now, here you go. If you don't put a character sheet in your rule book to make photocopies of...
Oh, God.
And this was before the internet was a thing.
That's true.
If you don't have a character sheet in the back of your rule book, your role-playing game is probably not very good.
They were like, no, you make your own character
Yeah,
sheet.
they were like,
Just write it down on some paper.
Right.
You got it.
Well, the thing is, like, you read the rules and you're like, I don't think Kevin knows what he's doing. And then you realize there's no character sheet. And you're like, no, he really doesn't know what he's doing.
He knew exactly what he was doing.
He was like,
making money.
I made riffs.
Stupid fuck.
I made riffs. That's what I did. I made riffs. That's my claim to fame.
He's like, dude, I can put a bunch of words in a book, and then people will buy it.
That's what Palladium did. They made riffs in Palladium Fantasy and rode those coattails until still today.
Yeah, I mean, they're still riding those coats.
And fucking Savage World, Pegging was like, hey, we'll do Riff Savage World since you guys are struggling. And that's fucking selling like hotcakes.
Sure.
Because people are like, oh, wait, this world we like in a good system? Let's go.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
But we're getting off track. What do we got? What else we got?
I think that was a very good track to be
I
on.
mean, it was.
Anytime we could talk about role-playing games,
We kind of went off the rails from a conversation about Batman that led into role playing somehow. I'm gonna have to go back and listen.
We talked about Batman.
Yeah,
see how we ended up on role playing. I don't really remember how that happened.
Doesn't
at this
matter.
Point.
Not important.
All three of us think Twilight Bat's going to be fine.
I don't think
Sparkly Bat will be fine.
I think Robert Pattinson has the acting chops to play the character.
I agree.
It's not like they
It's not like he's not a good-looking guy. You know what I mean?
I got it.
I think one of the biggest things here is, are they going to write the character well? Because that's what I'm worried about.
Matt Reeves has talked about how he wants this movie because he doesn't understand why no one's ever done a true detective type story for Batman. And he's like, look, this needs to be a detective story first and an action story second. You know, there is action when he gets into fights with thugs and stuff, but like the investigating of the crime is important to the Batman story. It has been in the comics for years, right? Finding the clues and going back to the Batcave and examining residue and fingerprints and, you know, that's part of the story. Why has it not been a part of a movie?
Yeah.
So I think Matt Reeves has got the right idea.
I have a better question for the nerdum out there. Twilight Batman or Hayden Christensen Batman? Which one would piss you off more?
Why would Hayden Christensen be a part of this conversation?
Because everyone hates him too, so I'm trying to figure out which news would piss him off more. Did I say you? No. You're not everybody.
You said everyone.
You're not everybody. You're Jason. Oh. You're a singular individual.
I don't mind Hayden Christensen.
You hate Hayden Christensen.
I don't mind him.
Yes, you do.
He was only bad as Darth Vader. He was good. He's good at other things.
He's good at other things.
He's good at other things. He's been in like that one movie where he played a journalist.
He was in that movie where he jumped through the holes.
Oh, Jumper. He was bad in that movie too. Yeah, he was bad in that.
I never saw that.
He wasn't that bad in that.
He was bad.
It was the teleporting movie. Right?
Yeah, it wasn't. It wasn't.
I did want to see that though because Samuel L. Jackson was in it.
Yeah, that's true.
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel L. Jackson. That kid just followed him around everywhere, from Star Wars to Jumper.
Apparently,
he's probably a cool dude to hang out with.
Sammy J?
No, the kid.
Oh.
Sammy J's like, hey, motherfucker.
Dude, Chef's coming out.
Yes, it is.
Like next week.
Yeah.
I'm not really excited for this movie.
Are you excited about
that
Godzilla flick?
I am excited about it.
I keep seeing the previews for
King of the Monsters does look really cool.
And I'm like, ooh.
It seems like they've learned from what they did in that first one and said, less human story, more monster fighting.
Do you know something? I watched the first trailer when it came out, and I haven't watched a single trailer since.
Really?
I want to go into this movie just completely...
But I will say, though, like I said, it seems like they learned, right? Because that was one of my complaints about the original one. I didn't think the old one was bad, right? But I felt like there was less Godzilla and more human interest story. Yeah. And it's like, okay, but I still want to see Godzilla. That's why I come to the movie.
Fuck the human interest.
Right, like, I don't really care about the human. The human are just, you know, in the way at this point.
They get stomped on by Godzilla.
Except...
Also, that movie's marketing made it seem as if
it was
Bryan
Godzilla.
Cranston was going to be the star of the movie.
He
and he got killed off in the first 10 minutes.
You can be the star and die in 10 minutes.
No, you can't. Not in a 2-hour movie.
Whatever. Ned Stark was a star, and that show lasted 8 years.
He was.
Yeah, but he made it 10 hours of television before he died.
It felt like 10 minutes, man.
It was not. It was 10 hours. He died in that final episode.
You fucking snap your fingers and, oh, Mr. Ned Stark's gone. Fuck.
No, I love the American Godzilla movie. Now there are plot holes in it. I'm fine with being more human interest. I love the monsters. I'm excited to see monsters fighting.
No, King of the Monsters is like it's going to focus more on monster
Yeah, and I'm
fights.
fine with that.
They're bringing back Ghidra and Mothra and all the Ruz.
Turtle Run.
No, they actually can't use the turtle because of some weird contract
it's not
thing.
Toho.
Yeah.
Toho doesn't own Gamera.
Mountain Run.
But like, there's 2 Godzilla movies. There always has been. There's it's Godzilla and it's a human interest story. Then there's the fuck it, they're gonna sumo wrestle. This is a fuck it, they're gonna sumo wrestle movie, and I'm okay with
That's
that.
what it should be.
That always should be, I think.
Yeah.
No, like
I
Shin
completely-
Godzilla was not a fucking sumo wrestler. Shin Godzilla was an amazing movie.
I want fucking kaiju fighting. That's all I
Kaiju
care
fighting.
about.
That's why we watch Godzilla. We like kaiju fighting.
There's more to Godzilla than kaiju fighting.
No, we're
That's the best
stupid.
aspects
We're
of
stupid
Godzilla,
fucking
though.
people.
No,
we
it's
want to
not.
watch giant monsters fight
Pacific
each other.
Rim is not a good movie, but it's got enough robot monster fights that I love it.
Yep.
That's fine. That's Pacific Rim. That's not Godzilla. Godzilla
Yeah,
is...
same.
No.
Godzilla fought Ultraman.
Oh
so
my
don't
God.
tell me
Oh my
that Godzilla
God.
doesn't fight
Oh
robots.
my God, I'm raging so
Because
hard
Godzilla
right now.
fought Ultraman.
He did.
Oh my God,
That
I'm
was the
done.
thing.
I'm done.
They made Ultraman
done.
giant so he could fight
Is
Godzilla.
this how you feel when we touch your beloved Batman? I want to know.
Yes, it is.
What?
Yes.
He's a murderer. Why do you care about him so much?
Exactly. See? Feel the burn. So, I would be remiss, though, if we didn't talk about Picard.
Oh shit, yeah, whatever. Whatever.
Rodger's over it? At
No,
this
I'm not
point?
over it.
Did you see how awesome he looked right there at the end
Yeah,
in his awesome little suit? I was just like, I love you so much, man.
I saw the same shot of Patrick Stewart I've seen every time we see Patrick Stewart in a movie, which is, I'm looking at a camera and I'm bald.
It's true.
Nothing happened in this trailer.
Nothing happened in the trailer.
Nothing happened in the trailer.
That was very disappointing.
He's making wine, and he didn't take Kirk's advice.
Yeah, he went back to his family farm,
Right.
his family winery.
After he became an admiral. Which Kirk said, like, if you're going to take advice from anybody in Starfleet, it's Captain Kirk.
Sure.
Said, do not let them take her away from you.
Yeah.
Stay captain.
Right.
And I always thought that's what happened with Picard, is that he would just stay a captain and retire.
They put this 15-year timeline on it,
Right,
And,
then you
and
have
the
an
reality
issue.
and the reality is, in real life, Star Trek. What was it? Nemesis was the last one.
Yeah.
Came out in 2002.
Right.
Right. So it's actually 17 years ago. So my thought is, hopefully, those 2 years that are missing are why he left Starfleet, and that better be the goddamn focus of the show right away.
That better be like the first
Right,
episode.
I want to know now why Picard, who is the most decorated, dedicated Starfleet officer I ever had the pleasure of watching, left Starfleet.
I can tell you why. Section 31.
Section 31?
Yeah. Like, that's going to be the thing, because that's what fucking Discovery is all about, and they're starting to make a Section 31 TV show. It's all about the Starfleet being bad, so here's Section 31. So what'll happen is some bullshit with that rescue operation they're talking about is going to involve Section 31, and Picard's going to be like, fuck it, I'm out.
I mean, maybe. I'm excited to see Picard again, though. He is
I
my
am
favorite
too.
captain. I need CBS All Access now.
He's no Cisco. I'll give you my password.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
I'll just give you my password.
You could, hey,
I'm
good.
pretty sure that's how I watched HBO when I first
Yeah, it was.
first watching HBO.
Yeah.
Because at the beginning you couldn't get HBO as a subscription
right.
service
Yeah.
unless you also had HBO.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah,
I
that's
know.
bullshit.
As
No.
soon as they opened it up as a subscription service, my mom texted me and she's like, hey, here you go.
Right,
And I was like, Mom,
HBO
you love
now.
me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that's how Colonius gets to watch Discovery is. I'm like, here you go, Zach.
Yeah. I don't want to watch Discovery. I do want to watch Picard.
You should watch this season of Discovery.
I don't want to.
Just watch it for Christopher Pike.
My Star Trek show right now is the Orville.
That's what Rodger said too.
Orville's good.
It's my Star Trek show.
I just finished where the security officer left.
Oh,
That's the episode
Alara.
Yeah, when
Yeah.
Alara left, the jar of pickles
Yep.
sitting on the thing. I was
Yep.
like, aw, that's cute.
Hey, Alara, you open this pickle jar for me?
That's cute.
Yeah, Rodger and I are fishing on Thursday, and he's like, well, I'm going to go home and watch the Orville.
That's exactly what I did.
And I was like, okay, cool.
And then I passed out, and I was like, how many episodes did I sleep through? Oh, 2. All right, let me start over.
It's a good show.
It is a good
It
show.
really is. It reminds me of good Star Trek.
I mean, there's some parts where I'm like, but it's good.
Star
Yeah,
Trek has parts where it's like,
Yeah, Star Trek has a lot of
Yeah, like the first 2 seasons of every show.
Well, in all reality, it took place in a later season, but do you remember the whole episode where where Dr. Crusher was haunted by a ghost that she was having sex with?
Yeah. We
Okay,
don't talk
so
about that.
so I'm just saying you have to understand that even Star Trek had moments where you're just like, ugh, what are you doing here?
This
did
is
she
cringy.
Did she just get sexed with a ghost?
Did she just get sex?
She did.
With
by
the
a ghost?
She
Like,
did.
is that what happened there?
So on other Star Trek news, What You Leave Behind, the Deep Space Nine documentary is releasing soon on DVD and Blu-ray.
Okay.
And they did a special one-night screening, and if you go online, like, the reviews for this are amazing.
Okay.
Apparently, so it's like...
I just feel like Deep Space Nine's ending was rushed and unsatisfying.
What?
Yeah.
They spent, like, 13 episodes wrapping this all up, and it was fine.
I felt like it was a little rushed. I really
Whoa.
did. Yeah.
I'm just laughing here. This is great.
No, like they knew that the season they were doing was going to be their last season.
Right.
So they had to wrap up everything. So they spent the whole season just wrapping up everything, and it just felt very rushed.
Do you know what this fucking
That's
show
24
is?
episodes.
This show is all about seeing who can be pissed off at a particular point in time.
No,
It's true.
like here's the thing.
It really
Like
is.
Deep Space Nine,
It really is.
Deep Space Nine was one ahead of its time. This type of storytelling it was
I just
doing
feel like all of the build up for the Dominion and the war
paid off perfectly.
just really felt
Oh
like
my
a
God.
rushed ending.
No, calm down, Game of Thrones fan. It was awesome and it was perfect.
All right, well,
And there was like
TNG was always my favorite.
TNG, yeah, but TNG and Deep Space Nine are two different shows. And I mean that more of not just like different cast and crews, but like different ways of like if you were like
What do you want to say, Chris? I feel like you have something to say.
I have nothing to say. I'm just listening to fucking rock. This is Star Trek and this is Star Trek. It's not the same.
No, it's not like if you want to compare
and
Star
it's
Trek
so
shows,
fucking stupid.
if you want to compare TNG to any other Star Trek show, it's Voyager.
No.
Yeah, because all episodic and exploring bullshit. Like Deep Space Nine was like
You're so
couldn't
ahead of its
mi-
time.
Well, it was.
It was set in the future.
No, the way it told stories, it was one of the first shows to do the you shouldn't miss an episode because you could be lost. Like it was like Game of
Like in
Thrones,
space?
Walking
Nah,
Dead.
I disagree with that, right? Because the main plot of the show was building up to the Dominion War.
No, it wasn't.
Yes, it was.
It was not
That
the
was
main
whole
plot of the
point.
show.
That was the whole point
Because
of what
that shit
long...
happened in season 4.
That was the
the
whole
Dominion
point.
War started in season 4.
I disagree. If you look at once they found out about it,
That was
it's-
season 2.
It's already been going on for years before they even found out about it. So that's not true.
That was season 2 when we found out about the Dominion. Season 3 was the build up, like, oh shit, we think they're coming. Season 4
what I am
is
saying,
when we kicked off.
what I am saying is, you can cut out so many episodes of that show and just watch the stuff that has to do with that conflict, and you're still watching a huge chunk of the show.
Yeah.
And it's really the only important thing that the show is trying to do.
But it's not.
It really is.
No. it's
Especially
not.
since Odo, from day one, was head of security on Deep Space
You had
Nine.
the Dominion War, you had Bajor, you
The
had
changelings,
Cardassia.
the changelings had already infiltrated Starfleet before we even understood that there was a threat from them.
And?
And then the scroll showed up.
They are the Skrulls.
I know.
Yeah,
I mean, they're
they're
shapeshifters.
the
I know, that's
scrolls
why I
of
said it.
The Star
of
Trek universe.
All right, we
Just fucking stop.
gotta go. We gotta go.
We gotta go.
I'm gonna kill Jason.
All right.
Guys,
I got killed.
go to,
I got killed by Rodger
if
today,
Jason
guys.
was your favorite character in Game of Entertain the Geeky,
His head chopped off.
Rodger just killed me. I won't be here next time. Sorry.
That's not true.
Oh,
You'll be
knock
here.
it off.
We resurrected you. You're the Hound, not the Hound of the Mountain.
I was gonna say the Hound.
Whatever.
so go to entertainthegeeky.com. You can follow up on all of Jason's brilliant writing there.
Two big guys. One speaks, one doesn't. I'm just cutting Chris off because I like to mess with his flow.
No, whatever. I'll just Fuck you. Fuck you.
It worked.
Go
It's
to the,
hard to get back the flow once you
go to the website entertainthegeeky.com and read the articles and listen to the shows and fuck Rodger because he's a prick.
There you go. You forgot to say your thing.
Just whatever. Stay geeky.